Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Reading Workshop. Today, we're going to go over the book Blackout that you should have listened to, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to make inferences about some things that happen based on the pictures. So, this book is a realistic fiction story, and these are stories that are made up, but they could happen in real life too. And so, when you're looking for a realistic fiction story, some things to look for are characters who act like real people, events that could really happen, and places that seem real. And so, we're going to make inferences about the things that the author does not say, but clues from the pictures. So, let's get started. First, I want you to learn a little bit about John Rocco. He has a really cool story, and you're going to listen and learn about him.
John Rocco worked on movies and video games before he decided he wanted to work on books. Mr. Rocco was living in New York City when he wrote and drew the pictures for Blackout. He wanted to tell a story about the people and places in his neighborhood. He got the idea for Blackout after talking to a lot of people about a real blackout that happened in New York City a long time ago. Don't you think Blackout looks a bit like a movie or TV show that has a New York City setting? Mr. Rocco's books have won many awards. Blackout is a Caldecott Honor Book.
So, he based his story, Blackout, on a real event that happened in New York City when all the lights went out. That's pretty cool. So, this is realistic fiction. It really can happen, but it's fiction because he has not real characters and not real events that may have happened. So, let's get started and let's try and make inferences on this book. So, I'm going to take myself off the screen so you can see the whole picture. Okay. It says it started out as a normal summer night and the city was loud and hot. And so, what do you notice from these pictures over here? What are all of these people doing? Yeah, they're all doing their own thing, minding their own business. This guy looks like he might be putting a book up on a shelf. This girl's on the phone, talking to her cat. This man is cooking, and this woman is typing on her computer. So everybody is doing their own thing, and we make inferences to realize that there are no words here that tell us that they're doing those things, but by using the pictures, we're able to make inferences to figure that out. Good job. Inside, everyone was busy, and so you can tell they're all busy. This little boy has this game and he wants to play, but the sister looks like she's on the phone. She's screaming, "Get out!" to him. Then he goes downstairs to his dad. His dad's too busy cooking. Then his mom is busy on the computer. And so he might not be very happy right now. And we can infer that because no one wants to play with him. And here it says 2 or more players. So he only needs at least one other person and nobody will play with him. So how do you think he feels right now? Sad, upset, angry. Yeah, and those are all awesome inferences. And then the lights went out. And this was the sister that was on the phone. She screamed, "Mom!" Do you think she was screaming like scared, like, "Mom!" Or do you think she was screaming like, "Mom!" Like she did it and it was the mom's fault? How do you think she's screaming, "Mom"? I think it was like a frustrated because she got hung up and she couldn't talk on the phone. But we can all make different inferences on this, and that is really cool because there's no perfect answer. Nothing worked at all. The city was dark and quiet and still. We huddled around flashlights and candles. And the dad here is making little shadows, trying to make the best of it. And then They go up to the rooftop. And there was a block party in the sky. How do you think that family is feeling now that they got outside and they saw that this was going on? Yeah, I think they might be a lot relieved. They're not the only ones going through this because there's some families right here that are grilling on the grill. And they're all waving at each other. This little couple here is eating, and then they're listening to music. So everyone started doing their own little thing outside because they couldn't see inside. And then the same thing was happening downstairs. There was a party going on outside on the ground. So, how do you think this family is feeling now? Let's make an inference on how we think they're feeling based on their faces and everything else in this picture. Yeah, I think that they're super excited now. They're not alone in this, and they actually made the best of it. There's people with music, they're selling ice cream. They made the best of this blackout. And then the lights came back on, and the sister went back to being on the phone. The mom got back on the computer. The dad was busy fixing clocks and probably going to go back to cooking. And the boys kind of left alone. But did you notice on this last page, the boy turned the lights back off and said, "But not everyone likes normal." The sister said, "I gotta go." She hung up the phone. The dad says, "Good idea, buddy." They turned the lights off and they got his game out. So, how do you think the boy that has been trying all day to get them to play this game, how do you think he is feeling now? I think he is probably so excited. I can infer that on their faces they're smiling. The dad said, "Good idea, buddy." And they're spending family time together. So all day, this little boy wanted to play this game, and it took for the lights to go out, and then for them to come back on, and then for everyone to kind of realize, like, oh, that was kind of a lot of family time we had together. And they turned the lights back off just to play this game as a family. I think he is super excited, and we can make those inferences from these pictures that they decided to turn the lights off to play the game because they kind of liked how they felt when the lights were out. So today we made some awesome inferences. We can infer so much just by the pictures of these books. And so today, during your independent reading, I want you to look at the pictures. Notice their facial expressions, pay attention to what they're doing, and make inferences about how they're feeling. Even if you're not looking and reading the words, you can make inferences and tell a lot about a story just by the pictures, and it's super important. Good job today.